All right, guys, we're back with our spoiler warning, not spoiler free. So just to make sure, if you guys want to come back after we do the review,
If you haven't seen the movie,
if you haven't seen the movie, I would recommend not listening to this. Or I mean, if you haven't seen the movie, and you don't really want to see the movie, or
if you don't
want
care
or
about knowing this before you go in,
yeah, or if you want to hear our review of it before, and then
and maybe
kind of determine maybe
help you make a decision.
because I know some people do that. They'll I did that. I watched some of the movies that are out there, and I'll watch the spoiler movie to make sure if I really want to spend money on this. That was years ago, but we're gonna talk about some of the characters in the movie.
We're gonna talk about the characters, how their origins are supposed to be,
the plot, yes,
it's supposed to tie into the comics, but then this movie does it differently,
and does it
whole bunch of stuff.
Doesn't do it differently. It completely like characters. I'm not joking. Lex Luthor sounds like this throughout the whole movie. Let's see it. Okay, so you just pretend we're arguing. Like we're Batman. Oh, so you're trying to catch me. I write a puff piece every time, editorial every time you're Superman that's gonna burn the Paris down. And I'm not joking. All of a sudden, this guy comes in. Oh, Clark Kent, Batman. They come together. Oh, yeah. And I swear to God, he sounds like a deranged monkey on drugs that just came into the thing and just oh my God.
Yeah, well, I guess we can start it off with his character. So Jesse
I had to start off with that because
Jesse Eisenberg plays Lex Luthor Jr.
He plays him.
Yes.
The quotation marks.
So he's not even the Lex Luthor from the comics. First of all,
no, he's his son.
His son. Why? I don't know. For some reason, his dad's dead.
No, it doesn't explain his dad. Does he ever explain that?
No, his dad died because he said he left it all to me. So he's dead. Don't know why he's dead, but he's dead.
So he's actually. I didn't even hear that part. So you know more than me. Then I have no idea about that part. That's ridiculous.
If you know anything about Lex Luthor from the Superman comics,
or even the movies, I mean the movies are stupid too.
Yeah, even like the really old movies,
campy ones. Yeah.
Lex Luthor does not like Superman because he does not believe one man should have the power of a god.
Yes.
It's strictly that. Yes, Lex Luthor is crazy. In this one, his son is crazy, and Jesse Eisenberg does play a good crazy person, but with the lines he had to go off of and like the character they gave him,
and the sound.
Awful.
I don't know if like Jesse himself created the sound, but I'm not
he
joking.
was trying to get the
one man shouldn't do all this.
Like I think he was trying to go down the aspect of like he and me had like schizo or something.
Yeah, he's always twitching like.
He's always like twitching.
He's always
stuff,
like making weird noises.
Yeah. So that was like the first flaw with this is that Lex Luthor is not even Lex Luthor. They decided to make him his son, but no, for no reason at all. Like, why did you make him his son?
Yeah, well, yeah.
My whole thing is they probably made him his son because they couldn't find an actor like old enough to like play Lex Luthor.
They had the guy. I would even take the guy from. I didn't see the majority of the series, but the Smallville. There's Lex Luthor in there, and he's probably older now.
Yeah.
Because like Smallville was in the early 2000s. He's probably old enough now where he could probably be.
Or say even
Lex
you
Luthor.
go along the lines of that you have a young Lex Luthor in this one. The whole fact that you made him his son makes no sense. There's no reason for it.
Yes. I love being. He's tried to.
He's smart too.
Yeah.
Like his father is the one that gives him this entire company of like this scientific Lex Corp.
Yes.
Which is their leading age of like scientific technology and stuff like that.
It's pretty much like IBM of
pretty
our
much,
world.
yeah. And so his dad was smart, made this giant company. His company is making stuff that is first world. For some reason, his son is also smart, just like him.
Yeah.
So pretty much, his son has the exact same qualities of the Lex Luthor.
With schizophrenia.
It's just, hey, he's his son.
Yeah.
What?
Why? And the thing is that it's like everything about Lex Luthor's character is like ruined by this kind of like over the top performance that's like a marry between Heath Ledger's like creepy like Joker part and let's just say Gene Hackman's original Lex Luthor part back in 2000. I mean, back in when Superman, the first one in 1980 came out. It's like a marry of them two.
I think we should start off with the small characters and we'll build our way.
We'll build up the character, yeah.
So let's go with the next one.
I just had to get that Lex Luthor out of the way because that one's the one that just irritated
She's
me.
a small part in this one, but you know it from the trailer. It's Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman enters this movie. You see Wonder Woman, but
You know it's Wonder Woman, obviously.
no one in the movie knows it's Wonder Woman, but the audience knows it's Wonder Woman because you saw it from the trailer.
And you saw it from the press
So
release.
then you're watching Batman discover who Wonder Woman is. So he discovers that they call them metahumans, which are, you later find out there's a group of metahumans that LexCorp is investigating, which later turns out the metahumans are...
Let's just say it's basically the mutants.
Yeah.
It's basically just calling mutants instead of calling them mutants to call them megahumans. Almost.
Not necessarily mutants, but it's like...
No, I mean like...
They don't know how these humans...
Their characterization.
Or,
yeah.
The thing is like, they don't even explain if they're even human or not. But...
That's true, yeah.
For some reason, Batman's able to hack through LexCorp's computers, finds
Of course, because their security is terrible.
Yeah.
The security is watching him do it. I'm not joking. At one part, you see that, so his servers are downstairs. Somewhat why you're able to access it from actual people, like from the guests. The guests of the party can actually access it. Just walking down the stairs. Why? Don't know. There's no security on there. There's nothing to like. What if somebody was like somebody, his rival company was like, hey, I'm at your party. Walk down there and burn the place down.
So anyway,
it doesn't make any sense.
Batman's able to hack his computer servers, gets a bunch of these files from LexCorp. One of the files is metahumans. So,
which of course we all know what it is.
Yes, yeah, we know what the metahumans are. He meets this lady, which is Wonder Woman, at Lex Luthor's party. Looks in the file metahumans under the Wonder Woman file. He sees a picture of her. That's like, what, years ago or something?
Yeah, it's funny because Chris Pine, the actor's in it. I didn't notice that. I knew that. I didn't know it was him, but it was actually Chris Pine because he's in the movie.
He's in the
Wonder Woman movie.
So, and pretty much, he's like, well, how does she look that young if this picture was taken like years ago? Finds out she's like some superhuman. So she comes into the movie way later when they create Doomsday, which we'll get to after. Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman comes in. She has the strength almost as strong as Superman.
Mm-hmm.
She has this shield that can stop pretty much anything, and a sword that can cut through anything, and a whip that cannot be cut.
She's awesome.
She's awesome.
She's awesome. That's pretty much
she
what
plays
they
a
say.
good part in this movie. So for someone who doesn't play a lot of action movies, and I know you're saying she was in the Fast and Furious franchise, but let's face it, she was just there to look
pretty. She was a damsel in distress almost in that movie.
And then, but in this movie, she actually did a good job. But the thing is, it doesn't explain in this movie how she has her powers.
You don't know her. Like you don't
know who she is.
You don't
even
care
after
about
she
who
comes
this
out.
is,
You just know she's some metahuman that's got powers or some sort, and randomly decided, hey, today's the day I'm gonna come in and help Superman.
Or no, actually, no, because they don't even explain why she's at the party in the first place. She's just there. And you can kind of piece it together, saying that maybe she wants that file, but then Batman's the one that's able to grab the file. So why is she even at the party?
She makes a copy of it.
Yeah. But why is she at the party?
Yeah, I mean, that's our assumption is that she
wants that file.
She wanted that file. So then she decides she's about to leave the city because Batman discovered who she was.
Or is she leaving the city because of that? We don't even know.
We don't know.
It doesn't explain.
Again, that's what
you literally just find her it just cuts to her and she's just on a plane. Just like,
and then she decided, you know what? I'm gonna get off this plane. I'm gonna go help Superman and Batman fight Doomsday. And you're like, okay. And then she comes in and she
somehow hears like footage, like she hears like news footage.
Well, yeah, she's got
some monster.
She's got super hearing like Superman. She's got a lot of similar powers as Superman, but she has a lot of different of her own that Superman doesn't have.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She actually played a cool part when she actually got into the fight scene and started fighting along with them.
But it was just one.
But it's just more like you don't know who she is. She's
it's
cool.
more like she looks cool, right? She's hot and she looks cool.
That's Wonder Woman. Then let's go on to Doomsday, which is
second worst part of the movie.
This is what I don't like, because I'm actually a huge fan of Doomsday. When I figured out that in the comics Superman dies, and I started going online researching a bunch of stuff like, who killed Superman?
Yeah,
how did Superman die?
Yeah, because you played the games of like Justice League, DC Online, not Justice League.
DC Online a little bit, but they actually Injustice did a pretty good job in trying to keep to the comic books, but they also made their own storyline, which was cool too. But
because there is an Injustice comic book.
They took the characters and made sure the characters stayed the same to who they are.
Yeah.
So I started doing a bunch of research on like how did Doomsday die? I mean, how did Superman die? And it's this character called Doomsday kills him.
And he looks amazing.
And
like he looks.
So
cool.
this guy is a giant brute. Like he's probably 30 stories tall. He's huge. He's got like these bone like spurs coming out of his body. Mm-hmm. His like teeth are like these just pure huge
spurs,
sharp bone spurs. And he's just a bad dude.
He's just a big opposing threat.
Yeah, he's a huge threat. So and his sole purpose is he's an alien. You don't know where he comes from, which is kind of like the mystery behind him, which is okay.
Which just when it ruins the mystery completely.
So how Doomsday is supposed to be is this giant brute that comes down to Earth because he hears that there's a god that walks on this Earth, and Doomsday wants to be. He wants to fight everyone, to be the best, strongest person ever.
So pretty much, what's it called? Pretty much the Thanos version of, almost like the Thanos, without magic, of course, but the Thanos version of...
Yeah, he just wants to be the best.
He just wants to be the best.
So, he comes down and fights Superman, and how he kills Superman is he literally just beats him.
To a pulp.
Yeah, beats him to a pulp, and he dies.
And this one, actually, he does. The one thing I do like about this thing that people have been talking about recently is that I do love the fact that they almost went ballsy with this and actually killed Superman off.
Yeah.
Where they
which is good, because if he did not die by Doomsday, that's just another thing. I was just like, what?
Like, no.
So
stop.
I'm gonna go jump to the movie and come back. But so Doomsday does kill Batman in the movie. Doomsday Superman. Sorry, in the movie. Doomsday still does kill Superman, but it's different. Instead of being an alien that just came down to try to fight Superman, Lex Luthor.
Let's just say he's a hybrid of Goop. I'm sorry, it's Goop. It's Goop in the ship. Okay, so let's go back to how Lex Luthor.
This is the best way to describe how Doomsday came to be. If you've ever seen the Lord of the Rings movie and how orcs and yokai are created, that is how
you forgot you had to sprinkle some little magic human blood on it.
That's how they create Doomsday.
Pretty much.
He literally looks
he
looks like the troll from Lord of the Rings
mixed with I can't even mixed with it's like if you blew up
if you took the troll from Lord of the Rings, the cave troll, mixed him with Abomination from the new Hulk movie.
Yeah.
That's what you get Doomsday.
Yeah, pretty much. And a little bit of Hulk because he has some pecs.
Yeah, he's got some big stuff. That's what I'm saying. Abomination, strong guy. He's got the bone spurs.
Thing, yeah.
So, what happens is,
Lex
Luthor finds a way to use kryptonite.
Okay, let's go back to that. That's what pisses me. I'm just going to say a little thing about that because, first of all, the government gives Lex Luthor the ability to go into the ship that is supposed to be highly classified.
The ship that, if you remember from Man of Steel, that his father's hologram was on, and it had like the offspring of the Kryptons.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kryptonian offspring.
And instead of actually just picking his hand up and putting it on the scanner, Lex Luthor for some reason rips his fingerprints off of his hand. You remember that part?
Yeah,
off his hand, glues it to his own
Zod's hand,
glues it to his fingers, and then does it. It doesn't make any sense.
So
that's
what
just one thing.
Is
he brings them in, right?
Somehow Lex Luthor comes up with a way where he can weaponize kryptonite.
How?
And obviously,
why is it on the ship in the first place?
And then you wonder why, and then obviously if it's a weapon, the government wants it. So he pretty much makes a deal with the government. You let me allowed on this ship, and you give me Zod's body. I'll let you
weaponize
I'll weaponize this kryptonite and give it to you. First of all,
let's find out where he's find it though. See where he finds
it randomly in the Indian Ocean somewhere.
No, but
on another ship that.
Do you know that ship? No. Do you remember that ship? The what's it called?
The one that started reshaping the Earth.
Whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called, but they found it on that ship. Why? That's a literally a like an android. It's not even like it's not. It's a human.
Zod came in on that ship, right?
No, he didn't come. That one's. Remember, there's two ships. There was one in the Indian Ocean that split off from the ship in the first one.
Yes.
Landed in the ocean. They found that. They took it off of that.
But that's what I'm saying. At one point, those ships were together, right?
Yes. Why would you?
If he came down here, and why would there be a rock on the ship that could weaken them?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
And it's anyway. Of course it's in the human the Earth bending moving ship that. Supposed to turn kryptonite into thing. Why is it on that one?
Krypton, yeah.
Yeah, why is it on that one? Why
that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so the government's like, yeah, you can have full access to this top secret alien ship, and of course you can have the body of someone that could potentially at one time had the same powers as Superman.
We didn't experiment on anything.
So
why?
Then, this is how they make Doomsday. He takes Zod's body,
throws him in goop,
throws him in like this goo that's in the ship, somehow discovers that there is a mutant gene in Kryptonian blood, and if you do something to that gene, it amplifies it
pretty much,
and you get Doomsday.
This is what Shane was alluding to way back in the beginning. How he said that he doesn't like. The worst part about movies is plot convenience.
Yeah.
And this is one of the biggest plot convenience in the story is that we need this guy to fight Superman, to be as strong as Superman and fight Batman. So let's create Doomsday by just throwing a bunch of stuff together, and somehow the ship creates it.
So first of all, he's not even an alien from outer space.
Technically he is. He's Zod's DNA.
Yeah, but except for pretty much he's Zod that has been that he brought back to life. But then mutated to create Doomsday.
How? Because
what?
You walk in. Well, the thing is that when he's actually being born, you see all these tubes and stuff connected to him.
Yeah.
Where did they come from?
You see that kind of in the Man of Steel movie.
You do, but you don't But the tubes they all look good.
You're assuming that the ship has crashed. The ship is dead.
It's 30.
Everything is dead.
They even said it's 30% broken. It's 30%. It's 30%. It's 70% damaged, 30% alive, basically.
Yeah.
And it's able to create this thing for some reason.
Yeah. That's not even the worst part
when it crashed, shouldn't all the liquid have gone out? Apparently this chamber was able to survive somehow.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So
it's
then
so plot
he
convenient.
creates this Doomsday, and that's why Wonder Woman comes back to help them. So in this movie, Doomsday does kill Superman by stabbing him
with his bone
spur. And you wonder, how does he able to do this with his bone spur? It's because there's kryptonite involved. We'll get to that later, though. And the kryptonite can also weaken Doomsday, which is...
I'm surprised the ship didn't...
I'm going to go back to the comics. Once Superman is dead, Doomsday is just kind of rolling around our planet because he's,
wrecking stuff
because he's pretty much, the baddest of them all right now. Backstory: Flash can run so fast and will create wormholes. Goes back in time,
which they show in the movie.
Yeah, which you don't know, but if you if you know the backstory, you know that was what it was.
Yeah, but a normal person walking in the movie would be like, "What the heck is going on here?"
So, runs back to try and save Superman before he actually dies. But then that's when Superman realizes he cannot physically kill Doomsday. He's not strong enough to kill Doomsday. So he brings Doomsday into space and just throws him. And Doomsday is just floating around space until he either just
hits a planet.
Forever or hits a planet. In this movie, he's part Kryptonian. So kryptonite can hurt him.
Yeah.
And he kills him. Doomsday dies.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that maybe in the comics they'll eventually come out with a point. I don't know if they have. I don't read the comics.
I'm hoping they pull what they did with X-Men. Rename the character from Deadpool to Arcpool.
Yeah.
So they're like, that's no longer Deadpool.
Yeah.
Be like, maybe Doomsday to...
Maybe that's his...
Doomsday.
They actually never called their character Doomsday.
Yeah.
They called him... They said, oh, he will be your doomsday, and then he comes up and like is born. But like maybe in the comics one day they'll say like, hey, he's dead. Like that you can there's a bit can die. But like this movie's just like plot convenience where this dude is so big that you have no idea that you like nobody can stop him. Besides,
and not only that in the comics he's just a massive brute, just strong. This one
he has like
he gets hit by a nuke, and then like morphs.
Yeah.
Gets stronger, like absorbs the energy and gets stronger.
Now, the thing is that so it doesn't make any okay. So he comes out right. He uses this like flashy wave of electricity to destroy like basically
like a giant
basic
EMP.
Gotham. He destroys
like
I don't know why Gotham is still around because he shoots this laser away from his body, basically like some laser type of
it's like a EMP.
Thunder type of thing. Yeah,
it's kind of like an EMP,
and it just like wipes out some buildings, right? Nobody in them though, of course, because they learned this time that destruction isn't a thing we should be seeing in a movie. Like the end of the movie shouldn't be just a bunch of destruction. They destroy more stuff in this movie than in the previous movie. So they destroy this, right? He destroys this like EMP type thing, and all of a sudden he's able to use it like once in a while.
Yeah, every single time he's able to absorb energy.
But like at some points when he doesn't even absorb energy, he just uses it.
Well, no, both times he gets hit by the nuke, boom, uses it. He gets blown up in all those like gas things, absorbs that energy.
Absorbs the energy of gas. Like what?
So then that's when Wonder Woman comes in, but for some reason Wonder Woman's sword can cut his arm off.
Why?
Why? Well,
they never
knew anything about Wonder Woman is because her shield, sword, and whip were given to her by the gods.
Yeah, because she's an Amazon.
She's an Amazon woman. Were given to her by the gods, but you don't know that. You just her sword can just cut. For as far as you know, that's just a normal sword.
Yeah, or at least you know because she's so strong that at least you know like, she knows it's maybe like magical, but like you don't know anything about it.
You see that the shield and the whip they like glow, so you know that there's some like power to them.
So that's basically the only backstory you get of them.
Yeah, but the sword they never do anything with the sword. It's just like the sword just can cut his arm off. Like
a big brute guy. Just
yeah.
FYI.
So. And the reason how Superman is able to kill Doomsday with kryptonite is Batman, while they're fighting, figures out that
farts in his face.
Yeah,
use some
fart gas. He figures out that
Superman's
weakness is Krypton, Krypton.
Do they ever explain if it's kryptonite? Do they even say if it's kryptonite?
It's just a rock from their home planet.
Yeah, it doesn't even explain.
And so he makes a spear. Out of that's a spear. He makes a spear where the tip is
let's go into the actual like fight itself. The fight itself is actually pretty cool.
Superman does. I mean, not Superman. Batman. Ben Affleck as Batman does a good job. He knows that he cannot. His physical body cannot withstand Superman's hit.
Obviously.
So, what I didn't like in this one though is Alfred is also like his engineer.
Yeah, type thing, whatever it is.
So, but anyway. He makes this,
and that's what I hate about it. Cause, like
armor,
it jump cuts just because throughout the whole movie he hates them, right? And then all of a sudden there's a point in the movie where the Capitol building gets blown up and Superman goes into a huge rage and builds. And then
before we get on the
I'm saying the next like scene you just automatically like the actual suit. It's not even like you don't even see it get created. It just. He has a suit now.
Well, you see him like working on it. But it's like 95%.
It jump cuts.
It's like 95% done already when you see it the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, so that's all the smaller characters throughout this movie. Yeah. Besides obviously the two that are in the title. The next one is Lois Lane. This is my biggest pet peeve with Lois Lane. She knows that's Superman. Yep. Superman does everything in his power to try to save
her every single time,
and she always gets into trouble. She's
like independent for majority of the movie, and then obviously she's a damsel in distress.
She's helpless, and obviously Superman loves her, so he tries to save her.
And this is saying.
My thing is this: the part where you see Flash come in, he comes through the wormhole to try to save Superman, but he comes back too early, and he mentions that he's like, "Oh no, I'm too early." But before he leaves, he says, "Lois Lane is the key to everything." And you're like, why?
It's Lois Lane. Her character's not even interesting.
Useless.
Her character's not even interesting. Like
the only way I can see this being.
And then, by the way, this actual like him coming back through the wormhole wasn't even a real thing. It was like his dream.
No, it was him.
It was his dream.
No, it was he came back,
No, but it made it look like it was his dream.
Yeah, it made it look like his dream, like that he was dreaming, but it wasn't.
But it wasn't?
No, because he runs through time. He runs so fast he opens up wormholes through time. And
this is the comics, by the way.
Yeah, this is the comics. So he goes back and saves Superman before Doomsday kills him. That is what they were trying to salute towards. And they mentioned that he came back too early, like he went too far back in time.
Yeah.
And that's what they were he was trying to get at. But then then they just dropped the thing. They're like, Lois Lane is the key. I'm like, what?
And the thing is
the only way that I think that sentence will make sense is there is a time where, okay, if you don't know that Superman and Batman, throughout their comics, for the majority of their comics, they do not kill people. They do not kill people.
Batman kills people in this movie, for the way.
Batman shoots a couple people in this movie.
Blows them up.
You see in Man of Steel, Superman cracks Zod's neck.
Yeah.
So they're already going away from that aspect right there.
Which makes no sense.
In the comics, though, I don't know if a lot of people notice, but there's a lot of different, between Batman and Superman, there's a bunch of different comics that are kind of like parallel universes where it's the same characters, but their stories are different. Mm-hmm. Like there's a comic where Batman's old.
Yeah, which is Dark Knight Rises, which is where they fight, which is Batman and Superman. They fight when Dark Knight is old.
There's like a whole bunch of different storylines to Batman and
different arcs in there.
Superman. In one of the Superman ones, the Joker kills Lois Lane.
Blows up Metropolis.
Yeah, blows up with a nuke, and Lois Lane is in it, and she dies. And this is, I believe, I don't know if it's Superman or Justice League, because I know Batman is in Justice League, and he's also in some Superman comic books.
Yeah.
But Superman kind of snaps and ends up killing the Joker, which unleashes this rage he has.
And kind of basically turns the world.
He pretty much starts killing all these criminals, no matter how bad they are. He just starts killing them all.
And that's what you see in one of his visions. When you see this in one of Batman's visions, is that he's basically
the god
of the world, and he's in control of the world somehow. And it looks like the symbol of Dark Shield is in it, so he's probably helping. Dark Shield's probably helping with him.
I'm assuming that when he said Lois Lane is the key,
is that if he
dies, hoping that Lois Lane dies, Superman snaps, and then the Justice League has to fight Superman.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hoping that meant.
Or he saves. Or Batman knows this and goes, and saves Lois Lane before he dies.
Exactly.
So that might happen. But let's go to the actual fights.
The two big ones: Superman and Batman.
Superman is wooden. I'm sorry. I don't hate Henry Cavill, but I don't think he's a good Superman.
No.
He's too stiff. He's emotionless. Batman is good, but
Batman.
We already explained that. But
let's just say
we don't know anything about.
What's the title of the movie?
Batman. We don't know.
Batman versus Superman. Yeah. The whole fight between Batman and Superman was timed. Someone that we went to see the movie with timed
it. Really?
Timed the fight. 10 minutes.
10 minutes only?
10 minutes long.
I thought it was 15 at least. Okay, so basically the fight is actually cool. He weakens Superman with kryptonite.
So he
gets down to the very end.
The backstory behind this, he steals that rock from Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Because
and weaponizes it.
And weaponizes it. Makes a spear. Makes at least a couple of these gas grenades. That thing. Like, okay,
and so the reason why
Bruce Wayne is smart, he can probably do that.
Okay, so Batman wants to fight Superman, but Superman doesn't want to fight Batman. So you already feel a disconnect.
Yeah, so
the fight is not even real because it's not even he has to do it.
The whole thing is that Superman's like,
Mom,
I'm awesome. I could kill you just with a
snap so I don't need to fight you.
I don't need to fight you. When Batman's like, I'll prove you wrong that you can. A god will die by a man.
A god will bleed.
Yeah, a god will bleed. So he gets his awesome armor, right?
Just out of nowhere. You see it being kind of created, and then all of a sudden jump cuts to it being created.
Almost looks like Iron Man armor.
Yes.
Because it's got the glowing eyes and everything.
First of all, Lois Lane gets captured, of course. Why she gets captured? Because it doesn't make any sense. She just literally gets captured, gets thrown off the building, and then gets freed, right? The mom gets captured. That's the reason why they fight. So they fight because Lex Luthor captured Superman. So Superman doesn't even want to fight him.
Superman still doesn't want to fight him, but is forced to.
And this is the worst part of the movie.
One of the better parts though is Batman wins.
Yes.
A man took down a god.
And it makes sense. People didn't like it because it didn't make sense. I mean, people say, "Oh, it doesn't make sense." I'm like, it's kryptonite. It makes sense. So basically, they get to the very end. Batman is about to stab this guy in the face. He's about to kill somebody.
He uses the gas grenades to weaken him from the inside.
Yes.
Then he has this giant kryptonite spear. And
it's about to kill him.
To kill him.
No joke. I am not joking.
Maybe this is what they meant.
The worst part.
Maybe that was what the sentence meant. That Lois Lane was the key. She saved Superman.
Oh. If that was it, I quit on the movie right now. I quit on the movie right now because literally she runs up to him and goes. Because Superman goes, "You got to save Martha." Okay, both of the moms are named Martha. Okay,
Batman's mom, who gets shot and killed, is named Martha. Superman's mom, who's captured by Lex Luthor, so happens to be her name is Martha as well.
That's the reason why they stopped fighting.
So Superman's like, "You gotta save Martha," and
Batman
thinks he's talking about his mom, and he's like, "How do you know that name?
So
how do you know that name?"
You see Lois Lane with her small legs trying to run up to him.
Yeah, and then he goes,
"Don't save him.
Yes,
don't kill him."
That's his mom's name. His mom's name is Martha. And then he's like, "Oh, that's cool, bro. Our moms got the same names.
Dude, we're friends now.
We're cool now."
They call themselves friends. I'm not joking. 20 minutes later, he goes, I'm working with your I'm a friend of your son's. You became a friend and stop trying to stab the dude in the face because their mom's names were the same. That doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like they couldn't come up with the actual way to stop it because Batman's all in a rage. They couldn't come up with a way to hey, you're being stupid. He's a god. He's actually good. There's Doomsday right there. I could understand that. Boom, right? About to stab him, right? Doomsday comes. Would have made more sense. No, they stopped the fight because their names are Martha. It doesn't. Horrible idea. So, and then this leads to an awesome fight scene between that Superman's just killing people, just snapping necks.
Batman.
Sorry, not Superman. Batman's just snapping necks, blowing people up, shooting people in the face.
But that's what I don't like. Batman is not supposed to kill people until, again, in the comics, at one point.
Jason Todd dies.
Yeah.
Jason Todd literally gets beaten to a death
by the Joker. That's when he starts killing people. When Lois Lane dies, that's when Superman starts killing people. They just totally throw that out the window, and they just literally both of them start killing people.
They briefly describe hey, that Batman could be like that. Like Batman could have gone to the deep end, but it doesn't tell you.
By Alfred. Yeah, Alfred says you have darkness within you.
But
sometimes
that's what I'm saying.
Good,
They needed to have a Batman. They should have had a Batman, a Superman movie, and then this movie, because a Batman movie would describe hey, you would have gotten emotionally connected with the character and his motivations if you knew that he was gone. You knew he was insane. And I heard a piece of information which is kind of cool. I heard that maybe Joker, the crazy Joker that we see in the trailers for Suicide Squad, is actually Jason Todd, and that he didn't actually die. The old Joker beat him to a pulp, and then the Joker died somehow. I don't forget how, and he became the Joker. Which would be kind of cool because it kind of go into the cycle, which would make sense if we had a Batman movie before this.
True.
So we're gonna end it here because we could talk all hour. We could talk 3 hours about this movie.
Yeah, we're gonna come back with. We're gonna talk about My Big Fat Greek
for a brief moment because it's not even that big of a movie.
It's not a big movie. It's just
It's actually better than Superman now.
You saw the first one. You know the second one's gonna be that kind of same comedy. But, so we'll come back with that. This is a Sully Boy Show. Stay tuned.